Look, we have done converting one shape into another. And one thing I have to remind you all is this thing right here, this hollow sphere question. These are very important. Okay. So hollow sphere question, you may mark it as important. The rest are also important, but that one is more important. Okay. And I want you all to focus on how to solve the questions for the time being. What will be asked in the exam, what will not be asked in the exam, we can discuss it later on when your exam is near, maybe uh, when your exam is about to do it 1 2 months. We can discuss it then, maybe by December. So question number 12, this is slightly different from the rest of the questions. We are not converting one shape into another, but here it says a cylinder is cut lengthwise. Okay, look here, we have a cylinder. It is cut lengthwise here. You take a scissor and then you cut it lengthwise, and then you unroll it, okay, and flatten. You flatten it, what are you going to get? Okay, you imagine a bottle, you cut off the top and bottom portion and cut it off lengthwise, and you flatten it. What are you going to get? We're going to get a rectangle, right? And in that rectangle, this portion right here is this portion right here. So this height, it will turn into breadth of the rectangle. And where is this length coming from? The length, it comes from this portion right here. You cut it and you flatten it, and this portion right here, it has turned into the length. Okay, let me repeat again. When you obtain a rectangle from a cylinder, you cut the rectangle lengthwise and then you obtain the rectangle. This height, it will be changed into what? It will be changed into breadth of the rectangle. And this length right here, this is coming from this portion right here. What is this? This is the circumference, right? The top portion is a circle shape, right? If you cut it and then the length of this portion right here, this is the circumference. When you cut the cylinder and then flatten it, the circumference will turn into what? The circumference will turn into length of the rectangle. So you have to note that one. Okay. So this circumference, it will be turned into what? It will be turned into length of the rectangle. Now, what the question is saying is, cylinder is cut lengthwise and flattened. This cylinder is cut and then flattened. We get a rectangle. A rectangle, thereby forming a rectangle. We get a rectangle of dimension. Dimension means length and breadth. Okay. The length is 66 centimeter. What this describes is, this describes the length and breadth. This is the length and this is the breadth of what? Of the rectangle. So the rectangle's breadth is how much? Breadth is the smaller one, 28 centimeter. What about this 66? The 66 is the length. Okay. The question wants to ask, find the curved surface. Question asks the curved surface area and what? Volume of the original cylinder. This is formed from this. This rectangle is formed from the cylinder. So for the cylinder, nothing is given. We don't know the radius. We don't know the height. But when you cut it and flatten the cylinder, we obtain a rectangular shape. And the length and breadth of the rectangular sheet are given. The question wants to know what is the curved surface area of the cylinder and volume of the cylinder. How to find it out? Look, this breadth is what? The breadth is height. What about the length of the rectangle? The length of the rectangle will be equal to circumference of the cylinder. This portion right here. From these two clues, you can find now the radius and height of the cylinder. We need only the radius and height of the cylinder, right, in order to find out the curved surface area and the volume, isn't it? So we can find out radius and height of the cylinder from those two clues, and then we can find out the CSA and volume. Okay, let's see. Solution for the rectangle. How much is the length? Length is 66 centimeter. Breadth is how much? 28 centimeter. So according to what I just said, you have to say here the height of the cylinder is equal to what? Height of the cylinder will be equal to what? Breadth of the rectangle, right? Breadth of the rectangle. Now, height of the cylinder, I'm going to represent it by h. Breadth of the rectangle is how much? Breadth of the rectangle is 28. So the height of the cylinder is 28 centimeters. What about this 66? The 66 is length of the rectangle, right? But it will be converted into what? It will be, it came from the length of the rectangle. It was obtained from what? Circumference. So you say here also circumference of the cylinder. This is equal to what? Length of the rectangle. What's the formula for circumference? What's the formula for circumference? If the radius is r here, this circumference, it will be equal to what? Twice pi r, right? So we will have twice pi r is equal to what is the length of the rectangle given as? It's given as 66. So put 66 here. We want the radius, okay? So r is equal to 66 divided by 2 pi. 2 and 66 got cancelled. We get 33. And the remaining will be 33 by 22 divided by 7. That will be 33 into 7 by 20. 11 3s are 33, 11 2s are 22. 3 7s are 21 by 2 centimeters. Now we have got the height of the cylinder. We have got the radius of the cylinder also. Since we have the height and the radius of the cylinder, finding out curved surface area and volume is easy, right? So curved surface area, we will use the formula pi r square, sorry, twice pi r h, and volume we will use pi r square h. Okay, copy up to here first, and then we will calculate the curved surface area and the volume. Is it done? Is it done? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What happened to others? Laltilen, how many are there? Check once. Just 3 or 4. How
Five,
many?
sir. Five.
Now I'm taking this. I'm leaving the height part and the radius part. Okay. So the radius of the cylinder is 21 by 2 centimeter, and the height is 28 centimeter. Right. So since we want the curved surface area and volume, curved surface area of cylinder, what's the formula? 2 pi RH. 2 into 22 by 7. R is how much? 21 by 2, and H is 20. Whatever can we cancel, let's cancel out. 2 and 2 get cancelled. 7 3 is 21. What is left then? We have got 3 into 22 into 20. So 3 8s are 24, 3 2s are 6, 84. 8 2 8s are 16. So 8 4 8 4 6 7 8 184. So the final answer for your curved surface area is 1848. We are finding out curved surface area, so it should be in centimeters square. Right? What about the volume? Pi r square h, right? So 22 by 7. 21 by 2 into 21 by 2 into 20. You cancel it out. 7 3 is 21. 2 and 14. 2 and 7. What is left then? We have got 22, 3, 21, and 7. So 22 into 21 into 21. So we get 441. 21 square is how much? Right, 441 2882079. So final value is 9702 centimeter. Okay, this is it. The curved surface area, you know the formula. Volume, you know the formula. The rest is just multiplying by putting in the values, right? What you need to know is how to transform this 66 and 28 into radius and height. How to obtain the height and radius of the cylinder from this 66 and 28. That's the only trick that you need to know. Okay, no need to copy from here. This is already written. So this portion right here, no need. You can copy from here. Don't take more than 2 minutes. All right. Finished, right? Yes or no? Done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, moving to question number 13. What can be made from a sector of a circle? You know what is a sector of a circle, right? We have done many calculations related. This is called a sector of a circle, right? What's the area of sector of a circle? Pi r square theta by 360. What is r? R is the radius. What about the theta? The theta is the angle, the central angle right here. This angle right here, the central angle is the angle theta. You know that already. What the question is saying is, a sector of a circle of radius 6 centimeter has angle 120 degree. First of all, you draw a circle and we draw a sector. How much is the angle right here? This angle is 120 degree. What about the radius? The radius is 6 centimeter. Now, according to the question, it says it is rolled up. It is rolled. We roll the sector so that two bounding radii are joined together to form a cone. This radii and this radii, this radius, and this radius, they are joined together. Okay, you know how it is rolled, right? When these two are joined together, what will it form? It will form a cone. You try this. Try this at home. When you join these two together, it will form a cone. Now the question wants to ask, find the volume of the cone. What do we obtain? We obtain a cone shape like this. Look, when you roll it, this part right here, it will become this part right here. Get it? This portion right here, this is what? This is called arc, right? Arc of a circle. The arc of a circle, when you roll it, what will it become? It will become the circumference, the whole circumference of the cone. What will the radius turn into? The radius has turned into this portion right here. What do we call this? Slant height. So the radius has turned into the slant height, and this portion right here, it has turned into the circumference. So we have those two hints. The question wants us to find out the volume of the cone. What's the volume of the cone formula? Volume of the cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h. We need the radius and we need the height. We are not given any of them, right? Okay. So there is two ways that we can solve this. First way, this part right here. This is the area of sector, right? Area of sector. The area of sector is this portion right here. What is this? Curved surface area. Curved surface area of cone. But in order to do that, we will need the radius also, and then slant height. It will become the radius. So we can make those two equal. Area of the sector is equal to curved surface area of the cone. From there, we can find out the radius. And another way we can make what I just said, this portion right here is equal to the circumference part. And this portion right here is the radius part. What is this called? This is called the slant height. Okay, the easier way will be this one. This length of arc is equal to this circumference part right here, because this portion is rolled and made into a circular shape. So you can say here is the sector is rolled into a cone. Length of arc is equal to circumference of the base of cone. This is called base of the cone. Okay, the base of the cone is circular shape, and the circumference, it will be equal to what? Length of arc, this portion. So length of arc, what is the formula? The length of the arc, the formula is what? What's the formula for length of arc? We have already done it. Twice pi r theta by 360. Or if you don't want 2 and 360 here, the 2 and 360 will get cancelled. We will have pi r theta by 180 degree. What is r? R is this 6 centimeter. Note the radius of this one, okay? So let's make it r1. What about the other one? What about the circumference of the base of the cone? The base of the cone, let's make it r1. The base of the cone, since it's a circular shape, it must also have a radius. Let the radius be R2. So circumference of the base of the cone, it will be what? It will be twice by R2. We want to find out R2, okay? Now you can cancel out whatever is equal on both sides before we put in the actual value. 2 pi and 2 pi can cancel out. Now you can put in the value R1 is how much? What is R1? R1 is the radius of the circle. So R1 we will put it 6. How much is theta? Theta is 120 degree as given in the figure. And we are finding out R2. Let's cancel out 123 is 360, 3 2 is 6. How much is R2 then? R2 is equal to 2 centimeter. What else? This radius 6 centimeter here, it will be equal to slant height of the cone, right? So you have to say here, radius of the circle, this is equal to slant height. This portion right here is called the slant height, represented by L. And since these two are joined together to form a cone, whatever is obtained here is the slant height. So radius of the circle is 6 centimeter. Slant height is how much? Slant height we will represent it by L. Now we have obtained the value of R2. R2 we have obtained it as 2. L we have obtained it as 6. We need three things in a cone. We need the slant height, we need the radius, and we need one more thing, this portion right here, which is the height. Okay, height we will obtain it in the next step. You copy up to here. Check out for any mistake if you know it already. One of you tell me when it's done, okay? My office consultant made up to please like okay, you can draw in the height also. Height is here. This portion is the height. I'm indicating the radius R1 for the circle, R2 for the base of the cone. Okay, that's why I'm writing R1 and R2 differently here. Finished? Yes or no? One of you answer me.
Yes, sir. Finish.
Girls, finished?
Yes,
Are they?
sir.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
all right then. Now we have got the radius and the slant height, right? But when you want to find when we want to find the volume of the volume of the cone will be 1 by 3 pi r square h. We need the radius and height. The radius is here, all right. R2 is the radius of the cone, right? But height we don't have it. We have the slant height instead. Look, this is a right angle triangle. What will be the relationship between L, H, and R2? This is the hypotenuse, isn't it? So use Pythagoras theorem. We will have L square is equal to H square plus R2 square. We know this and this. We want to find out the H. So we will have H square is equal to L square minus R2 square. Now you put in the value. The value of L is 6. So 6 square here. R2 is how much? 2 square. 6 square minus 2 square, how much? 36 minus 4 is 32, right? Find out the H, it will be root over 32. Root over 32, we express this like this, 16 into 2. When you separate the square root of 16 will be 4. Square root of 2 will be root over 2. So we will have 4 root 2 here. And the question also gives take root over 2 as 1.4. So you can replace this root over 2 with 1.4. So we are going to have 4 into 1.4 centimeter, which will be 5.6 centimeter. Now we have the height, we have the radius. Since we have both, then you can find out the volume. Volume of the cone. It will be 1 by 3 pi r2 square h. Why am I using R2? Because it's the radius of the cone. So 1 by 3 pi is 22 by 7. R2 is how much? R2 is 2. And how much is H? H is 5.6. I can cancel this 7 and 5.6. 7 and 5.6, we are going to get 0 0.8. How am I getting 0 0.8? Look, 5.6 is equal to 56 by 10. There is 7 here, 7 down below. 7 is below, right? 7 and 56 get cancelled. 7 9s are 56. What is left then? 8 by 10. 8 by 10, if you make it into decimal point, there is a 0 here. So one decimal point should be in there. We will have 0 0.8. All right. So 7 and 56 got cancelled and we are getting 0 0.8. Whatever is left, you just multiply it and divide it. What is left? 22, 4, 0 0.8 by 3. These two are multiplied and we have obtained 4. 22 is here, 22 is 4 here, 0 0.8 is here, and 3 is remaining. Okay, multiply this 88 into 0 0.8. 88 divided by 0 0.8. Let me just check it out to make it faster. So the final value is 23.47 centimeter. Okay, you can actually we obtain we obtain 23.46666. So we shorten it and make it 47 by approximation. Any question? If you get confused, you can ask now. Any question? Anything at all? You take a circle, okay? You take a circle and then you draw a sector with your pen. You cut it off and then you roll it into a cone. See if this portion is turned into this circumference. This radius turns into this length, this length height.
Sir, how is 4 to 4 into 1.4?
What?
How is 4 to 4 into 1.4?
This one.
Yes, sir.
What happened here? What's confusing?
How?
4 is 4. You understand up to here, right?
Yes, sir.
Up to this. 4 is 4. If you write any number like this, real number and radical number, sorry, rational and irrational together, rational number and irrational number together, then what you are going to get is we are multiplying 2 and root 3. When you write 4 root 2, we are multiplying 4 and root 2. When you write 3x, we are multiplying 3x. So 4 root 2 means we are multiplying 4 and root 2. The 4 is here. Instead of root 2, we are writing 1.4 because the question gives here. Root 2 is given as 1.4. That's why root 2 is written as 1.4, 4 is written as 4. So when you multiply them, we get 5.6. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes, Gauguin present. I haven't heard his voice for a very long time. No?
No, sir.
Tell me when it's done, okay? When you finish copying. Finish?
Yes, sir. Finished.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Moving on to 14. We cannot do more than 3 questions in a day. It takes a very long time for one question. Okay, so we have got a conical flux. Now, this time, no numbers are given. It is given in terms of variables. So, a conical flux of radius x unit. Okay, now it's saying that the radius is x units, height is 2x units, is full of water. The water is poured into a cylindrical flux of radius 2x by 3 units. Find the height of the water in the cylindrical flux. Okay, first of all, we have got a conical flux. It looks like this. Okay, you will find it in the lab, conical flux. It will look like this. But for the sake of geometry, let's just keep it like this, okay? And that conical flux, it has a radius of x units. So this radius right here is x units. What about the height? The height is, I'm not drawing a full con because it says it's a conical flux. Okay. So the height is how much? The height is 2x. And now the water is here, it is full of water. The water from here, it is poured into a cylindrical flux. We have got a cylindrical flux, and the radius is how much? The radius is twice x by 3. So the water from here is poured into the cylindrical flux. The height of the cylindrical flux is not given. But when you fill up the water, let's say the water fill up to here only, up to this level only. So how much height should the water be filled up in case of the cylindrical flux? That's what the question is asking. Find the height of the water in the cylindrical. Let's say the water is up to here only. So the question wants to know how much is the height of the water. Okay, what will be equal between these two? The volume of the water inside here will be equal to the volume of the water inside here, because the water from here is poured into here, this cylindrical flux. So you just have to say, let's say the height of the water is y. Okay, everything is given in x, so let's consider the height of the water as y. So the volume of the water, how will you going to find out? It is in the shape of a cylinder of height y, radius 2x by 3. The height of the water is, we consider it as y, and the radius is 2x by 3. And what is the shape? Cylindrical, right? So what will be the volume? Volume will be pi r square h. We will find out using this. In this one, what's the volume? 1 by 3 pi r square h. But the radius are different. You have to write different radius, different height. Okay. So you have to say here for the cylinder, for the conical flux. What is the radius? Let me write R1. R1 is X. What about the height? I'm using H1. And what about the cylindrical flux? For the cylindrical flux, how much is the radius? The radius is given as twice X divided by 3. And what about the height? The height we don't know. Okay, we are not finding out the height of the flux. We are just finding out the height of the water. The height of the water we are considering as y. You have to say here, let y is equal to height of the water. Yeah, what will be equal? What will be equal between these two? Volume of the water on the conical flux, it will be equal to, I have a K, the flux. The volume of the water here should be equal to volume of the water. So you have to say here, volume of water in the conical flux is equal to volume of water in the cylindrical flux. So volume of water in the conical flux, what is the volume of the cone? You have to write 1 by 3 pi r1 square h1 square. I'm using r1 and h1 for the conical flux. Okay, this is equal to what? Volume of the water in cylindrical flux. Cylindrical flux, we use r2 and the height is used as y. So for cylinder, what's the volume? Pi r square h, right? But instead of r, you have to replace it by r2. And instead of the h that I'm using here, the height was taken as what? The height of the water is taken as y, right? So you have to put y. What's our goal? We want to find out y. Cancel out first, and then we will put in the value later on. Pi and pi got cancelled. We will put in the value in the next step. Okay, copy up to here first, draw the figure properly. I'm taking a small break, 2 minutes. Okay, look, for this portion, it is here, right? Volume of the conical, volume of the cylindrical part is this part, right? So it's possible that we will be able to finish it on Tuesday. Okay, so Tuesday we will finish the mensuration chapter. I don't think much of the chapter are left. So I have done from factorization unit number 3, 4, 5 up to 6 I have done, and I have done unit number 10 and 12 also. Is coordinate geometry done? 11, chapter number 11, is it done? Rainey Chen, is it done? Chapter number 11, coordinate geometry. Are you there?
Yes, sir. No.
Is the chapter 11 done? Coordinate geometry.
No, sir.
Okay then. Tell me when you are finished copying. Finished?
Yes, sir.
Okay then, rubbing off. Anyone who hasn't finished? Everyone is done, right? Okay, let's continue from here. Let me bring this tape up. Now you put in the value. We have got 1 by 3. R1 is how much? R1 is x. No, I have a square here. Sorry. There is no square in the h. X into, sorry, it should be x squared. X into h1 is how much? Twice x. Is equal to, what about the R2 square? What about R2? R2 is 2x by 3, right? So you have to put 2x by 3 into 2x by 3 into y. Our goal is to find out the y value right here in terms of x. The 2 of the x we can cancel out. These, and these we can cancel out. One of the 2's can be cancelled out also. One of the 3's can be cancelled out also. What is left then? Implies that nothing is left on the right hand side. Sorry, left hand side. Sorry. We have got one of the x left here. X is equal to, what is left here? 2x by 3 is gone. This x is gone, so we have got 2 by 3 y left. When you want to find out the y, 3 will go up, 2 will come down. So y will be 3 by 2x. So this is it. So you have to say here, therefore, height of the water, where? In the cylindrical flux. This is how much? 3 by 2x. Okay, this is your answer. Okay, you copy up to here and let's finish for today. We will take up more questions on Monday. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, copy up to here. Quickly. Finished?
Yes,
Yes or
sir.
no? Okay, then let's stop here for today. We'll continue on Friday. We'll continue on Monday. Okay. Goodbye.